Okay, I am on. Hello, hello, hello. It's another evening. Going to be continuing work with this lovely lady that I'm now got the base all on and starting to blend into the character. And yeah, we're going to have a go at doing the blade today, and hopefully we can start seeing this one really start to come together, hopefully soon. My wife was very kind enough to get me some nice beers, so I'm going to be enjoying a chimay today. It should be very nice. So, cheers to all. Oh, that's good. It's really good. I'll do that a little slowly though, so I don't want to get screwy with my painting. So yeah, we're going to have a go at getting this blade done. Just before that though, you can probably see on the base down here, that you see the base on down here. I've put in some kind of earth texture, the thick mud texture from Vallejo, onto the base, and you can see where it's kind of around her feet. Let me make sure my focus is on the right area. I think it is. And kind of going around the sides here, there's all this brown here. It doesn't actually look too bad, but it doesn't quite blend correctly with the rest of the feature. So I've got to try and blend the color in a little bit. So first things first, I've got a little bit of brown on my palette from earlier today. I was doing a little bit of work, so it should still be okay to use. It's a little bit watery, but should be okay. Now I can just kind of get some of that, a little bit of the brown first, because then we're going to hit it with the greys and hopefully blend it all in a little bit more. So there's all that. Now today I had my daughter's sports day here in Japan. They go pretty all out on the sports days and things. It's her very first one. She's first grade at elementary school, and it was a really nice day. It was it was quite hot today actually for the beginning of October, but she tried her very best. She really enjoyed doing her dance. They're doing a dance to Lilo and Stitch, a Lilo and Stitch song. I think it's from the Lilo and Stitch TV series. But yeah, she's been practicing that a lot, so she was really happy to kind of go and do it. She looked very happy. She also had a race, a little dash, which again, she looked really happy running in it. I got some photos of her, and her face is just all lit up with a kind of with a tongue between her teeth, like so happily running along. So that was really nice to see. A very pleasant day. Luckily, me and my wife found a good spot in the shade to wait between events because it was pretty hot. So I felt sorry for the kids who were kind of sitting out in the sun. My daughter, we were expecting her to have a break from having going swimming as well, because she has swimming lessons on Saturdays. But she still wanted to go, so that was great. So she also did her sports day, and she went and did swimming as well, which was quite a surprise, but it was good. Okay, it's already blending in quite nicely. All right. But yeah. Where was I? Lost my trail of thought. Yeah, my daughter, so my daughter had quite an active day, and she didn't nap all day either. So by the end of the day, she was pretty belligerent. And she just ended up going to bed and falling asleep whilst complaining at the same time. But overall, good day for her, which was good. Right, okay. I do want to get a little bit of green in there, if I can. For the time being, I've kind of blended in that base a little bit more now. So it's looking like everything's kind of tied in there. Because my worry was this big thing that she's standing on, making sure that this actually blended into the base. It seems to have blended in pretty well, so that's all good. Why is my screen like that? Hold on. I'm not sure if I'm showing properly my stream. Sometimes my stream just does some weird things. I'm hoping I'm okay. It says that I'm fair. Yeah, I seem to be up and running. It's just not moving, which is worrying. Huh. I have no idea if I'm actually streaming properly or not. That's kind of worrying. Again, my wife is watching some stuff on some stuff on TV. Yeah, I'm not moving, am I? Why am I not moving? Audio seems to be going through, but not the video properly. Why is that? What's going on there? Don't know if it's my end or not. If anyone is. What's going on there? Okay. I seem to be okay. Sorry. I get really nervous about this actually working properly or not. So sorry if I'm kind of talking to myself a little bit about that. Okay, well, I think I'm okay now. Right, I'm going to try and get a little bit of the burnt umber in for this this blade. We're going to try and go through a bit of burnt umber. We'll also knock in our heavy gold brown and ice yellow, I think. I think this is what we're going to go with for our mix. And we'll just see how this turns out. Hopefully it'll just look like a kind of a cool bronze blade that she's carrying. So first I'll go with the umber. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna approach this one, but we'll just kind of throw in some light, see how it turns out, and then we can just start going back and forth, making sure it looks as good as possible, and hope for the best. At the worst case scenario, we just do it again. So I'm going to mix in, we're going to get in first of our lowest of highlights, as it were, and we'll just kind of build in everything as we go. Hoping this will look okay. We'll get a bit of a shine in there, would be the idea. Okay, we'll go up another notch. Again, we're just mapping out the kind of the shine of the metal. I'm not following any kind of particular pattern. I'm just going by the what's usually called the rule of cool, where you just find what looks good and go with that. And then an edge highlight is always good across the top edge there. It catches the most light. And hopefully we get a sense of where it's going to be going eventually. So let's mix in a little bit of ice yellow into there. A little bit more of that. And then hopefully we can start seeing where the full spectrum of light that we're using is going to be slowly built up. Just a touch of water in there, just to make it a bit easier to control. And then we hit the areas of the edge that we want the light to kind of hit the most. Not sold on the effect at the moment, but that's where we keep blending in and seeing how we go. So now we're going to go with the pure ice yellow. Again, I think I'm going to need a spot of water. Not too much. I'll probably put in too much. But Not too much because we don't want it to just kind of fall in everywhere, but we want to be able to control exactly where it gets placed. So it seems to still be good for edge highlighting a little, so that's okay. So we're slowly building up an effect on the sword there. It's not quite right. It doesn't quite have the ranges that I need. So I'm going to have to go back and forth a little bit with this one. I'm going to knock down a little bit of ivory, just so we can go a little bit higher than the ice yellow. Hopefully this will just top it off. And then I'm going to have to go and work on the mid-tones a bit more, build up again a little bit of that balance between everything. Right, this is where I need them a little bit thinner. So we're going to go with just the straight up, one of the biggest mid-tones we have here, which is this heavy gold brown. It's going to take a bit to get this one right. We'll get there. Again, part of it is knowing if you've kind of got the right areas for the effect to work. I think I may have not chosen the best spots, but we'll keep working on them and see if we can make it a little bit better. Let's go a little bit lighter. Try and get this bit here, this initial bit. Again, I think I'm going to need a bit of water in there just to really make this into more of a glaze, so it's not so thick on there. Again, I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit of the ice yellow, but make it again a very much of a glaze rather than anything else. It's slowly coming together. I think it does make a nice contrast against the rest of her colour scheme to make the sword kind of stand out as its own thing without it being too overbearing. So I think the colours are right. I've just got to get the placement of I just got to get the placement of all the paint right, which is that's the hard part. This takes a lot of my concentration as I just focus in on the thing, trying to get it right. And it's sometimes hard to tell until like the paint fully dries and you kind of take another look at it. But yeah, it's okay. I'm not convinced myself of the quality of this one, but oh well. I think I need a little bit near the hilt there. Just one more reflection perhaps. I may have made a mistake there, but let's just get a little bit in there and then we can always bring it back down again if need be. Right, now part of it's going to be also lining the blade as well. Oh, thank you very much. The recommendation of doing a kind of a bronze blade was a really cool suggestion, so I've just kind of tried to go with it, and it makes for quite a nice contrast against her regular armor and things. So I'm pretty pleased with the color scheme. It's just getting the colors right is proving to be the challenge right now. So right now I gotta line the shapes of these blades as well, which is a tough part. I had to hold my breath for that. Pretty much the whole thing where I'm just trying to give a bit of a lining to the blade. I can always clean this up. That's always the hard bit, is where you have all those, like the edge that splits into something else, and usually it's such a fine edge, it's hard to edge highlight it, especially depending on the shape of the thing. But it seems to be coming out okay. The more I do of this, the more I'm going to screw it up. Got to reline it. Right. Now, I should probably just stop there for a minute, let that be for a bit, and then maybe do the other side of the blade. Get the top done and the bottom and everything, so the whole blade is kind of at least in. Then I can probably go back and start glazing a little bit more, try and make it a little bit cleaner. But I'm pretty happy with where the blade is looking on that. And generally, just that the contrast of this model is coming on quite well. So, cheers. Yeah. So, let's now put in some of the streaks we're going to see in the on this side of the blade, the inside of the blade. I'm just going to roughly cast out some areas to be like, okay, this is where the sheen is. Very roughly. Next one's going to make it a little bit more obvious. Now whenever you start doing NMM, non-metallic metals, or making these kind of power swords and things, the beginning of it always looks terrible. And you always kind of question yourself, oh dear, this is going to be bad. I've made a terrible mistake with my placement of light or anything like that. But as you build up build up all the levels, it tends to start to come together a bit, and you start to see it actually take shape, and then it starts to look good. At least that's the hope. Ooh. Kind of slipped there. But you lost. Well, it's coming along. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of the ice yellow in. And then we'll go up to the ivory, and then what we're going to have to do is then start blending in the midtones again, just like we did with the other side. But this side is just a little bit more tricky to get to because of the position of the blade. Yep, so we definitely need some more of the midtones. They're definitely very lacking at the moment. Kind of hard to find a position where I can stroke the brush in the direction I actually want. Slowly getting there. Or not. I'm not sure really. This side's looking. This side will always be the better side because it's just going out, and I can more freely do all the work I need to do on it. This one's always going to be the difficult side. Might need to bring in a bit more of the brown again. Maybe too much brown. I need it to be more of a glaze. Just so we can just pull down some of those textures a little bit without it overpowering them at the same time. Oh, it's an interesting song to have. I keep saying I've got to go through my collection there and just get rid of all the silly stuff, but just haven't got around to it at all. Don't think I ever will. I think it's going to be a running thing for me. I'm, to be honest, I'm not brilliantly happy with the blade at the minute. I've got to do the underside reflections as well, so I've got to try and place those a little bit. There's not many to do, to be honest, just a couple. I'll try and get those ones in. And then we're going to build up the separation as well. So again, I've got to try and line this thing, which is going to be even more difficult now. I was worried that's a bit too much there, but it's in a position where you can't really see it so much, so I might be able to fiddle it that way. But yeah, she's getting there, isn't she? So that's kind of the basis of the blade in place. One of the things I tried to do was kind of line her, line all the clothes in a dark, dark red. I overstepped a little bit, I think. Should be okay. I should be using that paint. That paint's getting old now. It's not acting as it should do. So I should avoid using it. Now there are a few details on her with some like rope and things. So whilst I've got all of these colours in here, these will be good for doing any bits of string and rope and things. Again, this is all part of the paint job where I go very quiet because I have to focus. It's not like the earlier parts where I'm just kind of slapping paint everywhere. Now I don't want to ruin the any of the paint that I have kind of placed or painted onto the model. Now I want to be very careful with my placement of colour, as I might screw up something that I've been working on for a while. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do that bit on the back there. Just got kind of like some stuff. There's just some stuff there. She's also got it around her neck, so we've got to do the necklace. Anyways, I'm kind of thinking of adding all of these, like these little things that she's holding on to. Kind of do them in this bronze goldy kind of NMM. So like any like little buttons and things, we can do that as well. So these two buttons. Clipping her cloak on. They can be done that way. I think that'll good. That'll be good. So let's start mixing. Probably hard to see the little details that I'm doing right now, but I'm kind of adding on like little bits of, trying to put in like little bits of gold, which is a similar color to the blade that she has, so that we've got a little bit of that color mixed into other areas of the paint scheme. Yeah, it's coming along. Yeah. Oh, I'm curious, kind of actually. Do all nomads have this shape of blade for their close combat weapons? I'm not very familiar with the nomads and the intricacies of their designs. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. Right, okay, let's just get you all painted up in your golden colours. Okay. And then we'll just get a little bit of just pure ice yellow, I think. I don't think I did that yet, so... let's just spot these little golden baubles. There we go. Now for the rope, the string that's connecting it all. I don't know. Do I just leave them brown? And it's allows the golden bit to show up a little bit more without losing that effect. I think that will probably be best. Right, well, let's get this gun belt done. And then we've kind of done most of the major areas of the model, and then it's all about just cleaning it up, doing a little bit more highlighting here and there, glazing in all of the blends. Hopefully we can make it look just a little bit better. And then that'll be groovy. Right, I'm going to put some new black on there because this black has gone really thin. And separated from its... Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Princess Emmy Bear. Princess Emmy Bear. Thank you very much. Hemwo to you too. So yeah, welcome to the stream. We are doing our very best to try and paint this character up as best as I can. But there are some areas which are proving to be a little bit difficult. I'm having some troubles with getting the blade right. And I know I'm going to struggle soon doing a lot of the glazing. And I've got to clean up a lot of my messy paint work. But yeah, anyway, how are you, Princess Emmy Bear? I hope you are well. Okay. There we go. Right, I should get the gun handle as well. Ah, I got a Tau Combat Patrol. Nice. Lovely. I have not painted 40k for a while. I've still got a bunch of a lot of Dark Angels, Ravenwing to paint. I just hate painting bikes, and I decided to get a Ravenwing army when I first started, and then realized painting bikes was quite a chore. Especially painting them black. Black as a color scheme is draining. But yeah. Is that your first set of Tau? Is it a new army you're starting, or is it just adding to an already sizable force? And what is your color scheme for your Tau as well? Are you going for the kind of traditional GW color scheme, or do you have an original approach that you're going with yours? Sorry, I'm kind of getting further into this. First army. Oh, well done. Oh, it's fantastic. 16 years ago, yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, the good thing with the Tau's probably a good one to experiment with, finding a color scheme that you want. Is there any particular color schemes that are drawing your attention? What colors are you trying to do? I would tend to say, I mean, are you a beginner painter as well, or have you painted other minis and things, or is this just you're getting into the hobby? Because when I began the hobby, I started off with with the Dark Angels and Chaos Space Marines. I used to paint very, very quickly then, but very, very badly. My army, looking at when I pull out my army, I don't want to play with them because they just look terrible to me now. I've still got some Astra Militarum still to paint as well. I don't really collect GW anymore. Just it takes up too much space to have armies of 40k, and so it's also quite an investment to get into that game as well. And with the family and things, it's harder now than it was when it was I was just with my wife. As soon as the child came along, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing 40k anymore. I'm going to be doing smaller scale stuff. Hello there, Jaznaz Gaming. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome to join. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, it's like, if you're coming from a different background of painting, it is a different approach. I think I'm terrible at other stuff, to be honest. But painting models is where I've built my skill. And to be honest, this is all about practice and repetition and things. And once you start building up skills, you just repeat until you get better and better at it. But yeah, like initially I used to just do the basic thing, which was the paint, throw a wash over it, re-highlight a little bit or dry brush and be done. And that was serviceable. but it doesn't really advance your skills. As I did more of it, I got more and more into the painting side of things, and so I then focus on one skill area, one kind of technique at a time, and then I kind of just do that technique a lot. Right now, my current targets with painting are painting with contrast. So as you can see here with this model, there's like a lot of contrast. There's a lot of I want to say there's a lot of light value, so going from darks to lights and things, so that everything kind of pops and you can see it all. That's my target with all of this. Still fairly I don't want to say low level. I'm probably like an intermediate level painter. I still struggle a lot with some of the basics, but I think my work is starting to get a little better these days, just because I'm just focusing on a specific area and doing it a lot. And when I feel like, okay, that's improved, let me try this technique, and I'll do that a lot, and then hopefully it'll be better. But I'm not very happy with my NMM on this blade at the moment. I keep looking at it and think, ugh. Okay, yeah. Well, the metallics aren't too bad. Like, you can use metallic paints and things, and that seems fine. What I have found the markers good for, any kind of markers, certainly if it has a finer point and things, is I use that for writing on scrolls and things like that. It's kind of handy, especially with you're not going to have to worry about it because you got Tau, and I guess that's actually a good. They're a good transitional army from Gundam to like the 40k stuff, because they're pretty much like mini Gundams. So yeah, if you're doing Gundam, then you're probably using things like Tamiya paints and those kinds of acrylics that have an alcohol in them. They probably still work pretty well for Tau and things, but I it may just be an experience thing, but I just found using them very, very difficult for these kind of minis. A lot of those colors are semi-gloss or gloss, and I find that doesn't look so good on these types of models. Matte paints seem to work a little bit better. Some satins are okay as well, but yeah. That's my 2 cents on that kind of thing. But the best thing to do is just jump in and start painting, and then seeing what it looks like, and adjusting and growing and doing all of that. It's funny, I'm in Japan and I've never tried actually doing gunpowder. I've always wondered, like, oh, maybe I should try having a go at painting one, but I've just got too much of a backlog of these kind of minis that I want to paint, and I don't know if I would be able to fully get into them or give them the attention that they would deserve without getting bored too quick. Just because it's just not my thing, as it were. I think it'd be kind of cool to do like a real battle ravaged gunpowder. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah. Where are you all based as well? Are you where are you chatting from right now? Because right now I'm in Japan and it is night and everything. I was actually looking at the Gundam artifact kits just the other day. East Coast, yes. All right. So hello to the East Coast there. What time is it over there? I'm trying to figure out the time zones. Because right now I'm like 10 o'clock, so you must be like early morning. East Coast, so yeah, in the morning, 9:30. Yeah. All right. Well, good morning to you. Hope you have a lovely Saturday. Yeah, the artifact ones, or the artifact kits. I was actually having a look at them just the other day because I heard someone on using those because excuse me, my brain kind of switches gears quite quickly and my mouth doesn't quite catch up. I think I saw, maybe it was a Reddit post or I was on a chat on Discord or something, but they suggested using the artifacts for kind of stand-ins for tags for Infinity because they're of a similar size. A tag for Infinity is roughly this kind of size here. If you have a look, the model size there. So this is a tag, and they're roughly that size, and they will fit on the same size base, roughly the same size bases. So you can actually use them as kind of stand-in tags if you need to for Infinity. They're a bit chunkier and a bit bigger in scale, but they roughly fit in the right area. But yeah, they might be something that'd be fun to have a go at painting. And being in Japan, I could probably get it at like a decent price as well. So if it just costs the same as a tag, then I'm just going to buy a tag because I'm going to use those more in the games that I play. Right, I'm going to try and use the leather brown on this the gun thingamajiggy that you stick your gun in, holster. Oh, that's really 600 yen. That seems very cheap. I'll have a quick look on Amazon or go to one of the stores because that's super cheap. That would be awesome. I would probably pick up a few of them. Oh yeah, Amazon will be filled with scalper prices. Yeah, I'm gonna skip over the scalper prices and things, but I can also have a look at Rakuten quickly and things. But I've got a Yodobashi camera in Umeda, which is fairly close to where I am, or when I'm passing by, I can kind of pop into there and they'll go into the plastic model section for the artifact ones, or I can just go into a Joshin that's close by. I might have them. So I've got plenty of choices of places to find them. And find the best price for myself, so that's not really a problem. But yeah, if I find them for about that, I'll pick one of them up and kind of see if I can pick up a base as well that I can use and use it as a stand-in tag, perhaps for the in Infinity. There are these kind of tags that they don't have models for yet, because they'll be in the Tag Raid Kickstarter that's coming. But you can use them in Infinity, so that might be quite cool. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. And it's a cheap thing to test your it's a cheap thing to test your painting on for your schemes, if you don't want to use it for anything else. So I'm just looking at the picture now. I'll be interested to see how that looks when it's all finished, because I can see you kind of got the battle ravaged damage across it and things that you're building into it. That's kind of cool. Bet you had fun just destroying that. Right. A little bit back to you. What am I doing with you? Oh yeah, I was going to do the holster. Yeah. It looked like it was enjoyable destruction. I'm really bad. I can't destroy miniatures. I guess if it was just like a cheap starter set, like for Gundam and things, it wouldn't be too bad. But I just can't bring myself to destroy minis. Even for like, I guess I could do it for stuff where I got like all the extra little bits and pieces. I can use that for terrain and things like that. But there's something about it. I'm just like, oh no, I can't do it. Oh, that's good. Always good to have a backup then. Very nice. Okay. Right, I'm starting to take some shape with this now. I've got to sort out the handle for the blade, the grip for the blade. I don't know what to do with that one. I could do it. Do I do it teal? Might be too much. So I kind of got the turquoise theme in her in the model, but it's not as prominent as the other colors. So maybe getting just a touch of that more in there is something I could do. Could also make the glow on some of these kind of power cells or something that's on her back. Could make them come up a little bit. Now I've got all this white here as well, and I've got these bits that are sticking out. I haven't decided how I'm going to paint them yet. And I'm going to get that decision paralysis where I'm just like, I can't do it. So I'm going to have a thank you with a beer. Oh my. So, right, I've got to clean up an area of her cloak as well. Still got to do her shoes. Like the green on the shoes hasn't been properly done yet. It's just base coated. Although it kind of works quite nicely because it doesn't stand out too much, which is a good thing sometimes, because what that means is if it doesn't stand out at the bottom, I am drawing your eyes to the top of the model, which is partly what the turquoise hair does as well, is draw your eye to the top of the model. I want to also make sure to make the top of the chest highlighted a little bit lighter than the bottom part of the armor, because at the moment the bottom part of the armor is like around the waist is highlighted just as brightly as the chest part of the armor. But I want the chest to be a little bit stronger, so it draws your eyes up the model rather than kind of getting confused as to where to look. I kind of am overthinking this model a lot because it is a competition piece. So I'm trying to get it looking as the best I can. So hopefully we can get it there. Oh, a big thank you to my wife for picking up a very nice beer. I think I got it. Nope, nothing left. That was great. Yummy. Okay. Do we do... Okay, we've still got some little bits and pieces to do as well. So we've got like the... between the gauntlets there's this little circle of something. So do I do that as a... a glowy MacGuffin thingamajiggy? I guess we'll go with the teal, the turquoise on those, because yeah, that's where we're going to get the light from it. So okay, let's just give it a go. I'm just going to go with the turquoise. So that means I'm going to put some fresh paint on here. I'm going to spin this thing around actually to make it easier for myself. Whee! I'll make sure it's in my little camera there. And I'm going to get... For doing any kind of blue, turquoisey, glowy effects, or just the color scheme that I'm working with at the moment, I'm going to need my dark blue, which is where? I do not see it. You go up there, you go up there, you go in there, and there you are. You're hiding behind my glue. So we've got the dark Prussian blue. So we're going to get a bit of that on there. So we've got dark Prussian blue. That's going to lead up to our turquoise, which we're going to use the game color turquoise, which is a little bit more satin than, for example, this model color blue-green. Model color blue-green is actually a little bit lighter, but it's matte. I quite like matte things generally, but I've been trying to use this more satin turquoise just to make more use of it, to be honest. Not much more reason than that. And then I'm actually going to use some of my ice yellow that I've got there to use for the highlights. The reason I use ice yellow and not white is because the ice yellow keeps a lot of the intensity of the color in the highlight, and so it generally works a lot better for keeping up very high kind of light contrast. I forget the color theory terms. I don't really know much about color theory. I get the idea, I just don't know the words. So first we're gonna just fill the inside that dark Prussian blue. Like so. I'm going to take a little bit of the dark Prussian blue and mix that with a little bit of the turquoise. That's going to give us a kind of a darker turquoise there. And we're just going to put in most of the area. So like kind of 70 to 80% of the surface area that we just colored dark blue. We're going to put in this dark turquoise. So then we're going to go straight with the turquoise next. And again, we're going to kind of do that same ratio down. So there. This is when we get the ice yellow. What is this music? Oh, I gotta, as I say every time, I gotta sort through my bloody music library and get rid of all this weird stuff. It's very happy though. La 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 la. We kind of spot that in there. Get a touch more. And then to finish it, we will use a bit of the white. In this case, we're using the ivory. There we go. We just kind of have a nice kind of blue glowy effect in there. Then again, yeah, it looks alright. I think that's what we go for. So let's do the other one. Get some of that dark turquoise and build that one up. Then straight up turquoise. Ice yellow turquoise. And then finally, just the ivory. There we go. We've got what looks like a little bit of a glow. I think that's looking okay. Now we've got three kind of things on the back that we're going to do in a similar way. But first, I'm actually going to go with black around them. Okay. Are there any other bits that I want to do similarly? Don't know. No, I don't think so. I think that will be all the pieces that we need to do that way. So let's just go ahead and do them. These ones are ever so small. Whoops. To be honest, I probably don't need that many steps with these three. I'm still going to follow the 3 steps, even though it covers everything up, just to be thorough. Alright. This ivory, for some reason, has already gone very watery. I don't quite know why. There we go. And we've got it spotted. Probably can't see it so well there, but yeah, there's those 3 little spots that you can see that I've just done as kind of like turquoise glows. So she's getting there. Right, I think I'm going to do those knees in, not the knees, these kind of like spotted bits here. I'm going to do them in the brown. And then we'll make them look a little bit gold. Not sure if, again, I don't think I need all these steps that I'm taking with it, but I guess being thorough might be a good idea. Just to make sure I'm trying to get the similar effect. There we go. That'll be enough on that one. Right, should I try and do some of the green, get the feet done, and then maybe work on the top part of the body, make sure all the green is as it should be. So, for our green, we're going to need, I believe, flat green. And then, yeah, these 3, and then ice yellow was mixed in. So got a bit of this green. This is the base. This is the other highlight. There we go. And then if I needed to do any kind of shading, I use the dark blue that I've got and just kind of glaze it, water it right down to a wash, and just panel line as much as possible, and then that kind of works for me there. So let's just make sure we got everything up to scratch with the green. Make sure that I keep this all in shot. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the panel lining of these so that it's out the way and I can always fix it later, and then the other highlights will come easily. I say easily. I think I'm trying to kid myself there. Okay. So that's the green. We're going to go with a little bit of the blue, but we're going to wash it down a little bit. Boop. Boop. There we go. So it looks nice and thin. We're going to get that into a nice point. And then use that to line the separation. So I'm just kind of increasing the shading on the greens by adding this blue to the underside of a lot of things, and wherever there's kind of like cracks and breaks. Okay, but we're basically okay with that. We're just kind of building up a bit of a layer here. it's a little bit lighter on this surface. I'm tempted to not go too crazy on the boots here, so that they remain fairly subtle. But they're going to need still a little bit more than just that, I think. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of the olive. Okay, it's working out all right. Well, I think that's enough for the boots, actually. That's fairly simple coverage, but the boots now have a little bit of a shine to them, but they're nothing too strong that it's bringing too much attention away from everything else. Again, sorry, I've gone very quiet. I'm just busy with it. Not GW Minis. GW Minis is pretty easy to get over here. Because they got Games Workshops here, so you can get them shipped very easily, but it's just expensive. Just GW stuff is expensive anywhere outside of UK, pretty much, and even in UK it's pretty expensive. But it's It's just more so everywhere else. Infinity models actually is now actually pretty easy to get hold of, just because there's a site that's dedicated to selling Corvus Belli stuff. And they do it at a very reasonable rate as well. And if you order like just an individual mini, they'll send it to you with free postage as well. So I don't have to worry about any kind of import taxes or anything like that, because I get it through them, and it's very, very good, and very good prices as well. So that's not too bad. So it's not too bad to get minis. It really isn't. It's just finding people to play the games is a little bit tougher. If I play GW stuff, I'd probably just be able to go to the GW store and meet people and do it that way. But I do not play GW games at the moment, and so sometimes finding people to play is a little difficult. But I will play. Luckily, Infinity is supported on Tabletop Simulator. They're kind of okay to have their game played over TTS. So I'll sometimes play it over the internet with other people here in Japan who are a bit too far away just to meet up to play in person, which is a good way to play as well. But I'm just very, very busy as well, and it's very difficult to find time to actually play the game. So focusing on miniatures and then doing my playthroughs of, I've got like a dungeon crawler set in this universe. This is actually from the dungeon, this model is from the dungeon crawler game. I'm doing a playthrough of that. You can find on my YouTube channel. I'm currently going through the second missions edit. It takes me a very long time to edit the missions because I'm animating the full experience. But it's not too bad to get minis over here. Just order them online and you're fine. But yeah, it's okay. But yeah, the biggest thing is just finding people to play is a pain to do that. And with Corona hasn't helped. Sorry, focusing on, again, trying to line certain areas. So this is kind of like an area of a model I get to when I'm on a stream, and I stop talking for a little bit just because I'm focusing on cleaning up things, and I can't slip. If I slip, it's kind of going to be ruined. I'm getting... I'm getting to that point of where I'm like, okay, I'm reaching the limits of my skill in some areas here, so it's I could either try and push on and screw up the model, possibly. Or just call it done. But yeah, right now I am only getting Infinity models, just because it takes me so long to paint one mini. I've got a backlog of lots of minis as well, so I've kind of got to get through all of them before I start buying anything new. I will be getting Tag Raid, the Kickstarter, and so that will be coming, and I have a whole bunch more minis to do, especially like big ones, which I'm excited for, because I get to do like a big dragon and a great big like sandworm, which will be fun to paint those. Big minis are kind of fun to paint. But bust out my airbrush a bit more for that as well. Yeah, if it's painting wise, yeah. Just kind of picking up models that you like, really. For me, I just love Infinity's sculpts. I think they're really nice to paint. So I've just kind of got a lot of Infinity models to paint right now. As I said, like before, I'm doing a competition. This is a competition piece, so I specifically picked this model for that competition piece. I just really like the pose and kind of the character of the model. I thought this will be a good one for the competition to try and have a go at. Yeah, Gundams are just big minis. They you kind of my understanding of approaching them is a little bit different in terms of painting. Just from what I've seen, but again, I don't have much experience. I think they share more. I don't know, maybe not. I was gonna say they're gonna share more in common with kind of like the like tank kits and World War II kind of painting sets and things like that, but I don't know, maybe they don't really. But yeah, it's all part of the same bigger picture of the hobby, I think. I just love the fact as well that after I've finished painting them as well, I get to play with them on the tabletop, and it's just kind of nice playing a game with all the models fully painted. They're really nice. Yeah. Like, yeah, you gotta do what you want. Like, I tend to not follow paint schemes of like whatever the company paints. Certainly for my Infinity, all my Infinity stuff is fairly original in terms of color schemes. I know I saw there's I forget her name. There's a Japanese girl who actually takes the like the plastic anime models and she repaints them so they're like cell shaded. They look really good, and I think it's painted with Tamiya paints and things. But yeah, there's different approaches. There's lots of techniques to painting minis as well, and you'll find your own styles coming out as well. So like I've been developing my certain style with painting and things, and I've got there's miniature painters that I really like, and I kind of use them as aspirations. I don't so much. I do not copy their styles, but I use them as kind of as an aspiration to be like, okay, I want to be as good as painting as these guys. Not necessarily the same techniques exactly, but it's kind of nice that you can kind of develop your own style and things, and it starts to come out and show, and you can kind of recognize people's styles or approaches. Yeah, mine is slowly getting more and more contrast heavy, which is making a big difference to my skill, I guess. But I was earlier in the earlier stream, I was painting these guys. These are my Keisotsu, my kind of Japanese secessionist army for Infinity, and their color scheme is kind of based on what's his name from Sengoku Jidai? Shite, I'm forgetting my Japanese history now. Oh, Nobunaga. Based off of Nobunaga's battle armor, and I kind of based my Japanese secessionist army on that. They're usually painted up in white and red on the regular color scheme, but yeah, I wanted to go with a kind of a black, gold, and blue color scheme for them, which was cool. This girl is from the Nomad Nation, and they're usually in like just reds and blacks, I think. But I wanted to actually. I wasn't even thinking of that color scheme when I was painting her. I just decided on approaching her with a split complementary color scheme, with the primary color being the red, and then the secondary complementary colors being the turquoise and the green. And so it's coming out quite nicely. And then kind of like using a kind of more cool purpley red for the leggings there, just to kind of keep in that red spectrum as much as possible, but not being just completely the same. So yeah, there's all of that. And now I'm kind of just spinning the model around, going, what am I going to paint next? Which bit am I going to do next? I've got to really do that handle. And then when I've done the handle, then I've at least painted every part of the model. The hilt of the sword, I guess. But I am, again, at that feeling of decision paralysis on the hilt there. I think we'll just go with that. We're just going to paint it black for the moment. There's no need for it to stand out too much. And we can then just give it some grey highlights. Okay. That's got the basic model mostly done there. There are some bits I've got to do. I've got to colour in these. I've got to decide if I'm going to do them, how I'm going to do them. Let's go with the brown for the moment, and then at least they're marked in. I have a feeling these are supposed to be white though. As in they're the same design as I've done for these white bits here. Yeah, I think they are. So let's just hit them with the yellow, ice yellow first. Need a spot more. then this thing's been separating already. It separates so quickly. Whites are a pain. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Just fine. Fine. Just fine. I was thinking about getting some green into this model a little bit, but into the base a little bit, but we're just gonna just hit these areas just a little. Build in a little bit of that green into the base there. Just give it a little bit more interest in its colours. Hopefully blend this thing that she's standing on into the base a little bit more. And yeah, it's looking all right. Okay, I'm gonna say with her, I'm kind of done for the moment. I'm kind of okay. She's gonna sit by the wayside for a bit. Here, what I can do though is I do this every time. I muck up my entire setup by doing this, but we're gonna go for a little ride here. Boop. There we go. Oh, actually, we need to go to ultra wide setting. You get to see my whole setup here, but you also get to see a bit of a close-up of the model, so you can actually see some of the details we've got going on. This blade still needs some work. It's pretty rough at the moment, but we're starting to get it better. You can see there's probably a bit of cleanup to do on the back there as well. You can see those little blue turquoise bits I did earlier today. Yeah, she's getting there. I noticed I spilled a little bit of the blue onto her face a little bit. It's not so noticeable though. But yeah, that's kind of what she's looking like at the moment. But I'm not going to do any more of her today. I do have some other stuff to be doing though, so I'm not going to finish the stream entirely right now. Yeah, I seem to have put it back in a decent enough spot. What I do have is a whole bunch of basically these that I was making earlier. Let's see, that should be okay. So I made a bunch of these bases, so I've got to clean them up a little bit and then perhaps start painting them as well. So these are all for my Japanese secessionist army. So these models that I painted up a fair while ago now need their bases. So I've got to get their bases done now, otherwise I'll never get round to it. So earlier today I just got some epoxy putty and I just kind of used it's kind of like a press to press the mold of the design that I wanted for their base. I'm just going to kind of clip off the excess here, then we'll just kind of file it down a little bit as well. There we go. That one wasn't done brilliantly, to be honest. But, chez la vie. This one I did way too much on this one. So I'm going to make a mess on my desk. Could have probably set up a little bit of paper to pour it out on, but that's okay. I'll just brush it off afterwards into the bin. Probably can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just kind of clipping around the edges of these. And then I'm gonna give them all a black undercoat. Paint them up. And then they're kind of ready to have the models placed on them. A bit too much there. Oh well. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of these I was doing. I had still a fair bit of the putty. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to make as many of these as possible. So I got a whole bunch of these models that I took off that have mostly been undercoated. I need to clean up the undercoat a little bit before I paint these. But a whole bunch of these JSA, Japanese secessionist forces to do. Oh my god, I'm just sending bits of this flying everywhere. Just clip around. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this might take me a little while to just get through all of these. And to be honest, not great viewing, so I'm probably gonna just finish it up there because it is 11:30 over here. I'm just gonna clip these off tonight whilst listening to an audiobook, most likely, and yeah, I'm gonna get started on getting these bits done. I'll probably over the week do more of Kusanagi to try and get her finished. Once she's done, I've got to then take some nice photos of her for the competition, and fingers crossed, my target, I'm going into the intermediate category of this internet competition. I hope to get into the top 5. There'll be a lot of people entering, I think, lots and lots of people entering, so if I get into top 5, I'll be chuffed. I just want to get my skill up to the point where I can go, yes, I'm ready to go into the advanced category, but I'm not there yet. I'm still in the intermediate level. So, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. There's a little while yet before that competition is actually taking the submissions, the actual finished submissions in. So I'm just going to keep working until they open that up, and I'm just going to pop it straight in as soon as it's ready. May do a video once the competition is underway and they release release all of all of the entrants for voting. I may go through and do a stream just looking at everyone's work. I think that'd be kind of nice. But yeah, That's all for tonight, I think. So thank you very, very much for joining me. Thank you very much, Princess Emmy Bear, for following me as well. That's absolutely super. And for everyone else as well for being in the background or just having a chat as well. So thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you next time. Should next be on. Hopefully I should still be on my regular schedule of being on the Thursday night, and then that's cool. But thank you very much, everyone. I'm gonna say bye bye because I always have these elongated goodbyes where I just never actually switch off. So I'm gonna just switch off now.